What is your American dream?
My American dream is basically, I don't want to be too wealthy. I don't really care. I just want to live an average life. I want to bring home some money to my parents because my parents are the ones who raised me. They gave me everything, you know. They came from India here just so we could have a better life. So I just want them to have a good life, and I want to be able to take care of them.
America is a really diverse place, rich in culture, and I hope it stays the same forever.
Live your life to the fullest and not having to worry about day-to-day problems that just keep on going on.
I don't have an American dream, but I do have a dream for America. It's just for equality and everybody to be in peace and everybody to treat others as they want to be treated.
My American dream is to become an NYPD and do well in future and make my parents proud.
My dream is already here. We own hotels, we own restaurants, what else you need? I'm good, thank you God.
I do have a dream, and that's the reason I left my family in India to get some good money so they can have a good life in India. I want my family to be here. I will live with them. Maybe God fulfill my dream or not, that I don't know, but I'm trying my best.
Free, liberal society where everybody respects everybody and has a life together, right? Has a society together. That's what American dream is for me.
Everybody live happily and culturally rich at the same time, exploring their dreams and getting them.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam!
Groundhog, someone is waiting for you in the conference room.
For me? Oh, okay. Oh, someone's come to see me? Nobody ever comes to see me. Oh, I wonder who it is. Oh my goodness! Wow!
Hey, Groundhog Sam, I'm your biggest fan. Can I get your autograph?
You came all the way to Spar Bernstein to visit me?
I did. I came all the way here to see you.
Oh my goodness! Tell my biggest fan.
All right, welcome everybody. Thursday, February 21st. Sorry about the sound on the second half of the Groundhog. We will, oh my gosh, we will get that all fixed, and maybe we'll redo it on Monday or something.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
That's hilarious.
It was hilarious, and we didn't finish it.
Groundhog Sam is famous.
We'll have a new Groundhog on Monday, but maybe somewhere in the middle of the show we'll redo that with proper sound.
Cool.
Okay.
How's that? Welcome, Jonathan.
Hey.
Yo-Yo Elias. And Belgium, Kim.
Hi.
How's your day today, Jonathan? How you doing?
Pretty good. Met some friends or a friend that came into town for the day.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. And
That's
Belgium,
pretty
Kim?
chill.
I was at work all day today, Brad.
Wonderful.
I had breakfast with no one, and I did nothing else.
Really? You worked all day?
Yeah, I
You didn't meet any old friends?
No,
Nothing,
zero
not at all.
friends.
Not at all.
Actually, all of my coworkers are my friends, Brad. So I spent the whole day with my friends.
Well, in case you were interested, I'm doing fine.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine, just in case you were interested. Nobody was asking anyway. But Mia Bontak, good evening. How are you doing? Christine Bennett, squad up. Marge Higgs, Jessica Leamy, squad up. Love, Asset Lindo, Malia Lobin, Martin Lynn Brown, Mickaboo Mickey, and Jasmine McDonald. What's going on? Fortune Obina Otune. Malia Lobin, Martin, Lisa Blingro says, hello, Uncle Brad, Kimmy, and Yo-Yo, one love.
Hey.
Asset Lindo, what's going on? Lynn Brown. Hello, Asset Lindo again. Hello, Dion Watson. I'm reading this twice. I don't know why. Lolita Platt. says, squat up, y'all. And Lavandi Tucker says, squat up, Dion, Kim, Malia, Asset, and Lynn. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying hello. Who else here? I said Dion Watson. Rich Kid C said, what's in 5 towns, LOL? What is he talking about? I missed the first part of that comment. But how are you, Rich Kid C? And Kennedy Roy, all of our really good friends, right? Shay Murray, Reginald Amata. Haven't seen Reginald in a while. Back It Up Ricky.
Oh, yeah.
Afzal A.
Afzal.
He stopped by today, Afzal, to say hello.
He sure did.
Yes, Dane Williams. Afzal A says, squat up, Brad, squat up, crew. Had a wonderful time. Oh, he even said it. Meeting you guys earlier today. Everyone trust me. Go, Brad. Hiya, Brad. Fantastic.
Nice.
Wow, could he say anything nicer?
No, he could not.
Could he have been any nicer?
No, he could
he
not.
have been any more of a gentleman? Fabulous.
Basically laid out his jacket for you.
Yes, him and his beard are both fabulous. He has
been cultivating
that
thing.
He has been cultivating a good beard these days. I forgot to tell him. Roseanne.
Really rocking the stash.
Roseanne Delacoli, how are you? She has a question. We'll get to it in about 45 minutes or so. Bevan Smith, Danny Contreras, Simone Garraway, Ja Love. How are you? Andreen Spence, and everybody who I missed. Hello, squat up. What's up? How you doing? And hello to everybody. And Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias and Belgium Kim, before we get into our schmooze, can you let everybody know what their jobs are? The squad's jobs, please.
Absolutely.
Squad job.
Squad job.
Yes.
Squad job.
Squad job for the Facebook Brad Squad is super simple. What you're going to do is tell us exactly what you're thinking and feeling as you're watching the show in the comments. What do you think about the stories? What do you think about a caller? And if you're going to share this show with your friends and family, because you're that kind of good Samaritan, you're going to share it as a private message. Just blow up everybody's inbox that you know and tell them where to get free immigration advice. And YouTube Squad, you guys have a job too. What's that?
Absolutely, guys. So now, don't forget, you have to copy the link. Copy the link and send it in a group from your WhatsApp. Send it individually, make a group, whatever you want to do, but it would be best to send it through your WhatsApp. Also press the like button, and remember, you could also share your YouTube to Facebook as well, so you can get everybody looking, preference, whether you want to watch it on YouTube or Facebook.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, I got some good schmoozing here.
Whoa.
It's something that we call schmoozing with Brad. And Belgium Kim and Jonathan.
Right.
Why is it called schmoozing with Brad, Jonathan, and Kim?
We're just here to be like,
oh, really? Wow. Yeah, wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're your hype men.
Yes.
We're just the ad-libbers.
You're the hype guy.
Yeah.
And the hype gal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hype guy.
Meanwhile, here's a little hype for you.
Yeah.
Vladimir Putin says he's ready for a new Cuban Missile Crisis.
Fantastic.
Yes. He says that Russia is ready to start a new Cuban Missile Crisis if the United States puts nuclear missiles in Europe, advanced nuclear missiles in Europe, as is planned. Now, if anybody remembers, and I'm sure a lot of people do, the Cuban Missile Crisis erupted in 1962 when Moscow at the time put advanced 1962 missiles in Cuba that were very close to the United States.
Right.
The reason why it becomes a crisis, do you know why it becomes a crisis?
Why?
Let me tell you why. Because the closer the missile is to the United States, the less of a deterrent you have of a mutually assured destruction.
Right.
So, for example, when Russia put their missiles in Cuba, it was 10 minutes at most to nuke Florida.
Right.
So that means the United States, if Russia was to go launch a missile from Cuba, and that was in 1962.
Right.
So who knows what it would be
today
from Europe into Russia.
Right.
Wow.
So the whole reason why there has not been a nuclear war is this concept called mutually assured destruction. If you nuke me before your nuclear weapons hit, we're going to nuke you.
Right.
We're all going to be dead.
Right.
Sheesh.
Okay, but if you put nuclear weapons close enough to the person you want to nuke, then at that point, there's a
advantage.
possibility that you can shoot off your nuclear weapons before they're detected and before the person who's being nuked has a chance to nuke you back.
Oh, wow.
So now that makes somebody very nervous.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can kill me and there's no mutually assured destruction.
Right.
So you can't blame Putin, although I'm not a nuclear arms expert. I'm just telling you what happened in Cuba.
So where are our nukes?
Our nukes are all over the place, but these are now more advanced nukes.
So is there like
Okay.
somebody there just with the red button
Yeah.
just waiting?
I don't know. So Putin's
Two
comments.
keys and
So Putin's comments were made to Russian media late Wednesday night, following his warning that Moscow will match any United States move to deploy new missiles closer to Russia by stationing its own missiles closer to the United States. Putin fleshed out his warning in detail, saying Russia has supersonic submarines that they can put within striking distance of the United States that should the United States blast off any missiles from Europe, we can still kill you back from our submarines.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
basically what he's saying.
Jeez.
Now, the United States State Department dismissed Putin's earlier warning as propaganda,
Right.
saying that they would never nuke a city with a Trump Tower in it.
Get out of here.
That's what it said. It said
No,
Putin
they-
and Trump are friends. You would never nuke a city
There's
with
no
a Trump
way.
No way it would happen. That's what the State Department said. No, that's fake news.
I was about to say, what?
Over a beer, they
Yes,
were like, I'm not
yes.
going to do that to you, bud.
Now, Putin has said he does not want an arms race with the United States, but he would have no choice to act if Washington were deploy. Oh, here it is. If Washington were to deploy new missiles in Europe, some of which he says can strike Moscow within 10 minutes.
Wow.
See, that's the same thing that happened
Right.
Yeah.
in
For
the
the-
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Wow.
The calculation would not be in their favor, at least as things stand today. That's for sure, said Putin.
Oh, wow.
Now, separately, Washington said on Thursday that it will be carrying out an observation flight over Russia under the Open Skies Treaty. They will
Totally-
be flying over
right.
and waving to Putin.
Totally unrelated.
Unrelated.
And completely unrelated, not
unrelated.
at all connected news.
Okay. Now, in related news,
Yeah.
okay, of the United States and Russia nuking each other, okay, this is obviously also a result of Putin and Trump. The waiting times for U.S. citizenship, nobody knows that more than us and the Brad Squad has.
Right.
The Immigration Service has now come out and admitted that the waiting times for citizenship has doubled since
Wow.
Donald Trump has become
Wow.
president. Okay, they have now
Wow.
admitted it. I think it is more than doubled. It is actually, in my estimation, tripled.
Wow.
When President Obama was president, it was a 6 to 9 month process maximum.
Wow.
Now, the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service is saying that some cases can take as long as 31 months. That is not, this is in their press release.
Jeez.
That is not doubling. That's,
Yeah, that's-
like multiplying by 8 or 9 times.
2.5 years.
Now, 2.5 years would be the people who come from the shithole countries,
Right.
okay, or people who come from countries with dark skin, or
Right.
people who come from country or predominantly have dark skin inhabitants, people who come from Muslim countries. I guarantee you the guy from Norway don't wait that long.
It's not
Right.
right.
Okay, I can assure you that, and I see it in my own practice.
Unbelievable.
Okay. United States Citizenship and Immigration Service blames the delays on a sharp rise in applications. I blame it on a sharp rise of electoral votes for Donald Trump because he got voted president.
Yes.
I don't think this would have happened otherwise. Now, in the meantime, Trump likes to talk a big game on getting those smugglers that are coming across the border from Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay? He has called the smugglers ruthless coyotes,
Right.
vicious cartels that smuggle migrants into the United States. We must build a wall to stop all of this.
Right.
Right.
However, he has not. The number of investigations by the Department of Homeland Security into human smuggling has dropped from 3,920 under President Obama to 1,671 active investigations under Donald Trump.
Wow.
A 60% decline.
Wow.
Why? Because he's putting the money to putting agents on the border to stop poor people who are trying to apply for amnesty, who are escaping violence, rather than try. And you know what happens is these poor people who are getting stopped at the border applying for asylum are unable to do so. What do they have to do? They have to pay now 2 and 3 times amount money to these same ruthless coyotes to bring them across the border because they got nowhere to go and they can't sleep on the border in Mexico. And meanwhile, these coyotes are still being allowed to act against the laws of the United States because the Department of Homeland Security is not investigating them. Instead, they're arresting families at the border who are lawfully applying for asylum and separating them. And building family detention centers on toxic dumps.
You are absolutely right.
Wow.
The whole thing, Kim, is bullshit. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
I wish we had a bullshit buzzer here. Can we do that for next week?
We could make a bullshit
buzzer. Can we make
buzzer.
a bullshit buzzer?
We could make
We need a Brad Squad or a Brad Show Live. I don't know if it should be a Brad Squad or a Brad Show Live bullshit buzzer.
It should be a sound of a donkey or something.
Julian, besides pew, pew, do you have any...
Or boings.
Or boings.
What do you have?
What do you have in there that we can call out bullshit?
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not a bad bullshit.
That's not a bad bullshit. That's bullshit, I say. All right. Meanwhile, the people in Montana are calling this out as bullshit. All right? There's an online petition by people who say that they have figured out how to get rid of the national debt. They want to sell Montana to Canada. They feel that they can get at least $1 trillion for the state of Montana. There's an online petition, this is true, to sell Montana to Canada. They said, who the hell needs Montana anyway?
That's fantastic.
Exactly that. Who the hell? Why would Canada buy that?
The petition reads, we have too much debt and Montana is useless. Just tell them to leave the beavers and get the hell out of here. In response to the petition, the Great Falls Tribune, who takes this very seriously, that's the biggest newspaper in Montana,
of course,
pointed out that many of the signatories are from Montana themselves. The people of Montana want out of the United States as well. They want to be part of Canada. The editorial also broaches the important question like, why not get rid of Alaska too? Why just Montana?
That's a great point.
And which leads me...
That makes a lot of sense. Alaska would be close. I mean...
It doesn't touch us and it only touches Canada.
Right.
It should be theirs anyway.
Which bellies the question, Brad Squad. Do we really need Montana?
Absolutely not.
Do you think we need him?
I've never been to Montana, but surely there's a reason we have and want to keep Montana.
We've had two amazing guests from Montana. We had the mayor. We had the mayor. We had the mayor of Helena, Montana.
Wilmot
Collins, who was a refugee from
Liberia.
Thank you. And we had the gentleman who didn't want to be the snitch, Jordan Dreitel, who didn't want to be the snitch
for the Labor
Department, for the Immigration Service. So those are two people from Montana that we would still take in the United States of America.
We'll take them, still take the rest of Montana.
Meanwhile, the Representative Forrest Mandeville, who had proposed a satirical resolution pushing back on the petition, said it was clear Montana will be sticking on this side of the border. So well for Montana leaving us.
Yeah, Canada don't want Montana.
Wow.
Meanwhile, there's a barber in Vietnam, Yo-Yo, who's getting ready for the Trump-Kim summit. He is offering free haircuts to anybody who comes into his barbershop. The catch is you have to choose whether the haircut will look like Trump or Kim Jong-un. The two leaders are scheduled to meet in Vietnam next week. And the haircuts are absolutely free. The haircuts are absolutely free. You just have to walk into the barbershop and say Trump or Kim Jong-un. You got to pick your side.
Are you
yes.
Why does it really look like him too?
Now, 9-year-old To Gai Hoi, I hope I'm getting his name right, who chose the Kim style at the Tuan Duong Beauty Academy said, this is his quote, "I feel happy with this haircut because people will think I look like the leader of North Korea."
He's right.
He does.
Yes, he does. Now,
Definitely
photographers
play a
in
young
Hanoi
version of
captured
him.
the stunning transformation. Now, I like the Donald Trump haircut. It looks great and fits my age, said 66-year-old.
No, absolutely doesn't.
Lee Fukai. Let's see the Donald Trump haircut. Let's see it. We have it. There he is. Lee Fukai with his Donald Trump haircut.
That color is
now he says, I'm not afraid of this bright orange hair color because after this promotional campaign, the hair salon owner said he will return my hair to normal. The promotion ends next week.
That is hilarious.
Yo, how much money would we have to pay you if we gave you a free plane ticket to Hanoi? Okay, to cover the Trump. We gave you a hotel room and a free ticket. You got. This is what you get. All right, coach ticket with at least 2 stops. Coach ticket.
Come on.
Yes.
You could do a little bit better.
With at least 2 layovers to Hanoi, Vietnam, a free hotel room, and a $100 gift certificate to whatever bar of your choice.
$100.
$100 at the bar of your choice. But you must.
That's it?
Basically. But you must. But you're getting the free trip, and you're covering
to Vietnam.
To Vietnam.
That would be beautiful.
It's a beautiful place.
I'll take a free trip.
Okay, you take a free trip with 2 layovers and a $100 gift certificate and a free hotel room, and all you need to do. This offer is.
I need more than $100 gift certificate.
This is all you're getting. All you need to do is do the Donald Trump haircut at the barbershop, and then cover the summit.
Our press passes
For
could
Brad
probably
Show
get you
Live.
inside.
Brad Squad.
The summit.
Brad Squad. This is what I am willing to do.
Are you really willing to do this?
I'm willing to give you a 2 layover plane ticket, a hotel room, and $100. Is the Brad Squad willing to throw
Actually,
in?
I might take that.
Okay, to do that haircut. Let's pull up. What's his name?
Wait,
Lee Fukai. Where's Lee Fukai again? Brad Squad. Brad Squad. Is Brad Squad willing to chip in for this trip?
What are we gonna do? A
Is
GoFundMe
Brad
to send
a GoFundMe?
to Vietnam
Yes.
for a fucking
Yes. Excuse my language. But yes. Julian the TriCaster guy, can you set up a GoFundMe page right now for Brad Squad?
Actually, let's see how much we can raise.
Let's see how much.
Listen.
All right, we are going to do the GoFundMe page.
Let's see how much we can
to
raise.
see how much we can raise. I'm telling you what I'm willing to give.
It's gonna be like $3.28.
Okay, I am willing to give.
How long is the flight?
I have no idea, but it's far. I'm willing to give a coach ticket. We'll get you there as quickly as possible. But a coach ticket as quickly as possible to Vietnam, a hotel room, and a $100 gift certificate. Will the Brad Squad?
I actually would do it.
And you will do the Donald Trump haircut and wear it for a week. And
for
a week with the orange hair.
1 week.
1 week with the orange hair.
It would
What do you
probably
think?
ruin my head. But
What do you think? Well, Asset Lindo says, Brad, you have better use for your. There's nothing more entertaining. I am telling you, I disagree, Asset Lindo. There is nothing more entertaining than watching Jonathan get the Donald Trump orange-haired haircut and cover.
Are you looking up flights?
And cover the Kim Jong-un Donald Trump summit in Vietnam next week. You are going to do a full interview there. We'll send you around with a translator and a one of those little carts that the 3-wheelie
right.
The tuk-tuk?
The tuk-tuks, and we're going to send you around in a tuk-tuk. What do you think? Ma Duke says, leave my yo-yo alone.
Hey, I'm free next week, so.
You are free next week.
Oh, wait, I wasn't looking at next week's dates.
Well, let's see if we can do a GoFundMe to cover all your incidentals. And if we can, then Yo-Yo is off to Vietnam for his haircut and to cover.
How long is that promotion going?
The flight is expensive.
That's why we're doing a GoFundMe.
Yeah. We're looking at like a $900 flight. Bottom of the barrel.
It's okay.
800.
That's okay.
Yeah. For next week?
For next week? That's not bad to go to Vietnam. I thought you were going to tell me it was a couple $1,000.
No. Yeah, round trip.
All right, $900 hotel room and a $100 gift certificate, Yo-Yo. We're going to do a GoFundMe page. What do you think?
Sounds like somebody's getting a Donald Trump haircut next week.
Someone's going all the way to Vietnam for the Donald Trump
if
haircut.
my hair falls out from the bleach, I'm suing.
In other news, which makes me actually want to have a nuclear war and end it all when I read this stupidity.
No, don't say that.
Yes. A company in this means you know the end of the world is coming.
Okay.
A company in Dubai wants to send coffee into space and roast it with heat generated by re-entry into the atmosphere and charge people at a fancy hotel in Dubai $500 for heat-induced coffee. What? Why would anybody? What's the difference? What's the difference?
Wait, so there's got to be what is the science behind?
I don't know, but a Dubai-based startup has its eyes literally taking coffee roasters to new heights by launching a space capsule full of coffee beans into space and using the heat generated by the atmosphere re-entry to roast them. Why would anybody pay any money for that?
And it's $500, you said?
Jilly says Space Force needs to be caffeinated, and they're jumping. They see it open in the market for Space Force down the line.
Well, see that would make sense if you're opening the first space coffee shop.
Now, the Space Roasters co-founder. The Space Coasters it's called Space Roasters is the name of the company. They're based in Dubai, and the co-founder said of the cost, it's going to cost around $200 to $400 per cup. We know that's super high for the average person, but there are a lot of people who would pay that much. It is basically the price it costs to make with the margin. Realistically, the early cost of it would be around $200, but then when we still want to reduce that, our aim is to bring it down to $40 to $50. This is like so dumb.
This is so dumb.
All right. In dumber news, Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have this guy go to Hanoi instead.
Okay.
All right, because this guy lost the bet and covered himself in peanut butter and walked around the dog park.
No, he did
Yes,
not.
he did. Watch.
Oh, not
do we have
a
a
dog
video of
park?
this? Do we have a video of this?
Oh my gosh.
I think we do, right? Do we have a video? Yes, we. Oh no, just a picture.
What?
A man in Arlington, Texas, who came last in his fantasy football league, had to do a very nutty thing. His name is Steven Shrout. He's 25, and he had to either pay $250 to his friends or walk around with peanut butter around a dog park. I said, that's not a big challenge, but no one believed me. They're like, no way is he going to do it, Shrout told a local television station.
Who even thinks of that
Yeah,
type
but
of a
Shrout
dare?
went through with it on Wednesday. He said, my strategy was to do it as fast as possible and hope that not many people would see me. A lot of the dog owners just wondered what I was doing. Why is this man covered? Why is this man covered
so
with
how would
peanut
you
butter?
feel as a dog owner if your dog just like
I
was
wouldn't
running
let
up?
my dog lick some dirty loser in a fantasy football league.
Look at them.
Is he naked? Completely naked?
I think he might be completely naked.
He's completely
He looks
naked.
completely-
I'm
Why doesn't he
gonna
get
tell
arrested?
you something. I'm gonna tell you something. You wouldn't see a black man doing that.
That would have
I'll
been
tell
the
you that.
easiest $250 I've ever spent in my life.
Meanwhile, I don't know if they're crazier in Arlington, Texas, or they're crazier. That is him, or they're crazier in Ohio.
Okay.
Because in Ohio, a salon owner thinks she hit the nail on the head with her business name, even though many of the residents are disagreeing.
Okay.
Dawn Moon, who is the owner of the Hand Jobs Nail and Spa. Yes, it is called the Ham Jobs Nail and Spa. It's in Perkins Township. She believes the name is good branding. You don't want something that they can't remember or that they can't pronounce or say in less than a week. I think the whole country knows about Hand Jobs
go.
Nail and Spa.
There you go.
And it's literally what the spa does. They do
Hand jobs.
hand jobs,
Just
but
regular,
not
the sexual
not
one.
the sexual hand job, just regular hand job.
And you know she's smart.
Now,
she said
Yes.
she did exactly what she wanted. We're talking about it.
Yeah, now Crystal, an employee at the salon, told the Post that the cheeky name has been getting mostly compliments from patrons who've come in since the salon opened this week. Now there is a pending lawsuit against the salon for obscenity.
Wow.
A decision on whether the sign passes the zoning restrictions for obscenity will be due later in the week. If it doesn't, one worker vowed to fight the name
Good
all the
for
way
her.
to the
Yeah.
Supreme Court of the United States. That's
Wow,
what they said.
to the Supreme
The hand
Court.
job salon is going all the way to the top.
Hand jobs versus United States.
That's right. Can you imagine? That's a great name. Right. Move over, Mueller. We don't need any decision on the Mueller
Right.
investigation. But
talk
we
about
certainly
the hand
need a
job.
decision. We would like to know where Justice Clarence Thomas stands on hand jobs in Ohio.
We know Brett Kavanaugh likes beer, but
We-
how does he feel
Yeah,
about
how's he
hand
feel about hand
jobs?
jobs? Exactly. And some follow-up news, Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
All right. Remember we talked about David Assman? David Assman is the guy who was denied his vanity plate in Canada because
Oh,
it
yeah.
said
Assman.
Assman. Well, after being twice denied and after being featured on Bradshaw Live,
Right.
okay, he finally won. And now David Assman is able to go after appealing.
whoa.
He is
My God.
able to drive around and be a proud Assman.
There you
He
go.
was given his vanity plate in Canada.
There you go.
There you go.
my
There you go. And anything else interested? That is it. That is
in
it.
these comments,
What other comments do we have? there?
LVLX Ninja says, should we do a GoFundMe for Yo-Yo to get licked by dogs instead of the Vietnam trip? The haircut seems too easy. What?
Well, Yo-Yo said no black man would ever do
No
that.
black man would ever do that.
Well, I don't know. Well, let me ask you, Yo-Yo, would this particular black man do it for a certain amount of money?
This particular black man would definitely do it for a certain amount of money.
This black man will do have a price for just about anything.
Ching ching sounds about right to me.
That's right. All right, Julian the TriCaster guy, we need 2 GoFundMe pages now for Yo-Yo and Belgium Kim. Before we get into our immigration questions, can you please let everybody know what their hand jobs will be? All right, Brad Squad gets hand jobs also, right?
Yes.
Tell everybody, tell the Brad Squad what their hand jobs are.
Everybody. Hand jobs, all right? The Brad Squad hand jobs. So your hand
The
job.
Brad Squad hand job.
It's not even hump day.
It's not even hump day.
It's not even hump day.
Yeah.
It's always hump day.
It's
over here.
Throwback Thursday, 2 hump day on Wednesday.
Right. So everybody, Brad Squad, your hand job, of course, is to please comment. Let's do our interactions. Let's have our interactions up the wazoo. All right? Everybody put hearts, happy face.
Not the sad.
Not the sad face, but if it's a sad story, I mean, do it. But please, interact. Everybody talk to each other. Let us know what you think about the stories that we're covering, about the stories that we're getting called in, and also our social media stories. Let's just have a lot of interaction. And if you're going to share it, please don't forget, you have to share it through the private message. Of course, share it to other people's pages and the groups like you used to do it, but let's try and focus on the instant messaging and what we're going to do with YouTube.
YouTube, you guys also have a pretty tough hand job ahead of you. All you need to do is copy that link and send it into WhatsApp groups, send it into Facebook groups, post it on your Twitter, send it via 4chan or however you use it, wherever you go. Make sure to copy that link and send it to everyone who's watching.
And meanwhile, I see Lisa Bling Rose says she wants me to talk about that lady who climbed the building again. We're in touch with her still. She is currently facing criminal charges.
Yes.
She's
And,
awaiting sentencing right now.
She was found guilty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So
In
she's
New York.
In New York. And she's awaiting sentencing. Maybe what we can do, Belgium Kim, because people in the Brad Squad liked her, they want to hear more from her. Maybe we can see if we can get her before she goes sentenced. If she goes to jail, maybe we can get her on. What do you think?
Yeah.
We can reach out to her.
We can see what we can do.
I can promise
do,
we
yeah.
can see if we can reach out to her.
Wow.
We'll see if she wants to come on.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay, Lisa Bling Rose. All right, with that said, what do I got here? Did it? Yes! You've got a question, I got an answer. Give us a call right now with your immigration questions, 1-800-529-5465 in the segment that we like to call, if you got a question, you got an answer. Perhaps we don't have anything working
Any
today.
graphic?
Perhaps we don't.
Perhaps
Perhaps we don't. Maybe we do. There we go. There we go. There we are. You getting answers? You're damn right we're getting answers.
Yeah.
Damn right. Damn right. Hello, William. How are you? William? William.
Hi, Brett. How's
Hey,
it
what's
going?
up? How you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
What's
Thanks.
going on?
I'm just wondering, I've got two questions. I got convicted of DUI in California. The statute code was over the per se charge. Is that inadmissible or?
A DUI is not inadmissible. A DWI is. So that's the
Okay.
big difference.
So that means like it's a first offense DUI.
Generally speaking, a first offense DUI is not inadmissible. I'm not familiar with the California Penal Code, but I would say my best guess, not knowing the California Penal Code, is you're okay. If you want my professional advice rather than a best guess, since I don't know the California Penal Code, have a consultation with me, and I'm happy to look up the California Penal Code. But generally, as a general proposition, a DUI is not deportable. It's not inadmissible. A DWI is, and as a general proposition, unless you are bombed out of the wazoo and you're driving so erratically, or you hurt yourself or hurt somebody or hurt property, you're not going to be charged with it. You're not going to be found guilty of a DWI first time around. As a general proposition. Just getting pulled over, not doing anything wrong, and they just happen to notice you're drunk, that usually goes from DWI to DUI. And that is usually not inadmissible and deportable, but again, I don't know the California Penal Code. I wish I did, I don't.
Right.
But I'm happy to have the consultation with you and confirm what I'm telling you.
All right, thanks, Brett.
All right, so hold on one second. Let's go to Maria, all the way in Guyana. Maria in Guyana?
Hello, good evening.
Hello, Guyana. How are you?
Okay, pretty okay.
What's going
My
on?
brother. Okay, I have a question for you.
I'm listening.
Okay, my brother filed for me in 2013. How long more that I have to wait?
In 2030? That hasn't happened yet.
13.
Oh, 2013. Your brother filed for you in 2013. You want to know how long you have to wait. They're right now up to September 22nd, 2005, so you got about another 8 years, unfortunately.
8 years,
Yes.
okay.
All right, hang in there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Paul in Brooklyn. Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hello, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
What's going on?
Thank you very much for your work. I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is my wife. I got married to a U.S. citizen, and she filed I-130 already.
Great.
But I was thinking I do have a pullover by the cops from driving without a license, and I was given a ticket. To pay the
Well, you got to pay all your tickets, but generally driving without a license, a one-time offense, it could go to your moral character, but it's not going to be inadmissible. And if you're otherwise a decent, good person, you'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
All right, so hold on. Second question, yes.
Yeah, I have a child in my country. He's 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I can also file along with my I-130, or I should get mine first before I file that. I want to bring him over.
Okay, so your wife would file one application for you, and she would file a separate application for your son.
Oh, okay. She can do it the same time.
Yes, and it sounds like you're going to need some help. So hold on one second, Paul. Okay. Let's go to Tony in Hartford, Connecticut. Tony.
Yes. How you doing?
How are you, Tony?
I'm doing all right.
What's happening?
My wife, we did her green card interview already, and we filed an I-601 waiver for inadmissibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, what is the likelihood of that being approved during this Trump era?
What did you file?
The I-601 waiver for inadmissibility.
What is the likelihood? We get them approved all the time. Not everyone gets approved. Everything rests on its own case. So, It depends on your case. If you got strong hardship, yes, you'll get approved. If you don't, you don't. It's not, waiver cases and legal cases generally are not, as without knowing underlying facts as statistical as like a doctor who says, somebody who presents with this disease, there's a 90% chance of survival, not knowing anything about the person. All I can tell you is that I would say we get more waivers approved than we get denied in our particular office, but in general, there's more denied than approved. Your particular case, I don't know. Who knows is Magic 8 Ball. I can ask the Magic 8 Ball. That's the best I can ask. Okay, and the Magic 8 Ball says, well, I don't want to tell you what the Magic 8 Ball says. It says don't count on getting your waiver approved, but that's BS, the Magic 8 Ball. But if you want me to review your application, I'm happy to do it and let you know what's going on. That's the best I can suggest.
Okay, and one more question. Would that affect, she has kids in Jamaica, would that affect the kid's case?
No. Everybody, if a mother is inadmissible and the kids are otherwise eligible for a green card, having nothing to do with the mother, then what the mother did is what the mother did, and what the kids is something different. So, for example, if you're a U.S. citizen and you're filing for your wife and you're filing for your stepchildren in Jamaica, if the mother needs a waiver, that has no effect on the children because they're two separate applications.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All right. Let's go to Thomas in Burlington, Vermont. Thomas.
Hey, Brad, how you doing?
How are you?
Good, thanks. Happy New Year, bud.
Happy New Year.
Let me ask a question really quickly. So, if you filed back in 2011, and for some reason you had a 2-gram marijuana possession at the time of the arrest, right? You pleaded guilty for that, and then your 485 was denied, but then you appeal it. And back in 2000, you had to go for this case up until 2017, and you finally got your green card approved. What point can you file for citizenship?
You got it. Is it based on marriage to a citizen, or is it based on?
Yes.
Okay.
Based on marriage to a citizen.
3 years from the day you got your green card.
So wouldn't it back to 2011 when you first filed?
No, it backs to the day you get your green card approved.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, thanks.
You're welcome. All right, Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
What's up?
What's up?
Anna Banana has something to say.
Of course she does.
Yes. In September 2017, Donald Trump announced his plan to let DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, run out. As of August 2018, the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services estimates that there are about 700,000 active DACA recipients living in the United States. As of today, the program remains in place as litigation challenging Donald Trump's proposal to end DACA proceeds through the federal court system. However, President Trump rescinded the expansion of DACA on June 16, 2017, meaning there is a new generation of young people who are no longer able to apply for DACA. So basically, if you're in, you're in, but if you're out, too bad. Anna Banana has something to say about all this.
Hey friends from the Brad Show Live, I'm Anna Ascona. DACA student didn't apply for DACA, and now she and 1,000 other dreamers are left in the shadows. Maria Lopez is a 17-year-old student with good academic standing, involved in several extracurricular activities, who attends a top magnet high school in Dallas, Texas. She will most likely qualify for elite universities, but Lopez is an unauthorized immigrant. Lopez is not protected under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. She's part of the new generation of almost over 250,000 students who did not apply for DACA or did not qualify for DACA. On January 2018, a federal judge halted the Trump administration's move to end DACA, but it was also announced that no initial DACA requests would be considered. Now, Maria is ineligible for DACA, and her immigration status leaves her worried because she can face deportation and it's going to affect her future. On top of that, she can't work legally in this country, so if she goes and gets an education and goes through 4 years of college, pays all this money, after she graduates, she can either possibly get deported or not be able to work and use her degree. So that leaves her hopeless, which is very sad for someone who is very smart like Maria. This makes it very difficult for her to even look forward to a bright future, to think about what she wants to do after high school, And it's not like it's her fault that her parents brought her here at such a young age. I mean, she's been doing so good in school. I think that she deserves to be accepted under the DACA program. And this is why DACA is so beneficial for these types of students. And Trump should take consideration of these cases. This is going to help our economy because she could be the next successful doctor out there, or the next business owner that's going to open up a big corporation. You never know what this girl's future can be like. But because of her immigration status, she doesn't know what's left for her. Plus, DACA should be available for all students who came to this country without consent. She was a young girl. It's not like she could have told her parents, like, no, I don't want to go to the United States. She has to do what her mother says, or her father. And these kids deserve a chance to start their careers and build their futures and live normal lives, because it is not their fault. Lopez can still go to college, pay in-state tuition, but without legal documentation, she's missing out on work opportunities. Since she's undocumented, she can't even do internships because she doesn't have a social security number, and most internships do require you to provide your social security number. This can be very discouraging for many, and why wouldn't America want to invest in the future of these bright students, which ultimately makes America's future brighter? I just honestly wish that some of these laws would change to help these kids and not leave them in the limbo, worried about what's going to happen to them. Anyways, I just want to wish the best for Maria, and hopefully some laws can change to help her build a brighter future and continue to pursue higher education, along with the 200,000 other students who are left in the limbo with no legal documentation or status of protection.
Let's go to Monica in Queens. Monica.
Hello, Brad.
How are you?
Hello, I'm good. My question is, how long does...
What happened to Monica? Let's try again. Monica in Queens. We missed you. Monica?
How long does it take to get my employment authorization, my EAD? My priority date is September 4. I got a biometric October 2.
Okay, so it should be about 5 months from September. So October, November, December, January, February. You should be getting it any day. If you don't get it in the next 14 days, you live in Queens, come see us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Any day now should be in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Rachel in Madison Heights, Michigan. Rachel.
Hi, good evening.
How are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you for asking. And you?
What's going on?
So I was married to a U.S. citizen, and the marriage was very abusive.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I filed VAWA, and my VAWA was approved, and I got my 10-year green card.
Great.
But I eventually divorced him because it wasn't a good fit for me.
Sounds good so far.
And
other than the fact that you abused, but you got your green card and the benefits.
Yes, I did.
Right. So what's the problem?
And I remarried. My question is that I remarried.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to my country in Africa. I remarried.
Great.
And as a green card holder, we already have a child, and my child was born here.
Uh-huh.
So I filed for him. I just want to know two things. Can a green card person file for her spouse? That's one. And number two, can I still get my citizenship after 3 years? Because I got my green card in May of 17.
You can get it after 3 years, absolutely. So in February of 2020, you can file for your citizenship. And yes, you can file for your spouse, your new spouse, because you got your green card through VAWA. Had you gotten your green card through your spouse and not VAWA, and you then divorced him, you would have to wait 5 years for the time you got your green card. But that's a different situation. So everything you're doing is fine. And you'll be a citizen, you can file for your citizenship in February of 2020.
Okay, that's when I should file for it, in February 2000. That's next year.
Correct. Right, 90 days before whatever the 90-day period before your 3-year anniversary. You would have to look at your green card, but count 90 days before.
I filed for my husband last year,
He's
February,
he's
which
gonna
is
wait
always
he's
1
wait
year.
about another 18 months.
18 months.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, before we get into our social media, Jonathan and Belgium Kim, I would be remiss to neglect the Jussie Smollett, Now he's been arrested and he's now facing criminal charges for filing a false police report and for disorderly conduct. Now, the Chicago police tweeted Thursday morning that the Empire actor was under arrest and in custody. Now, if you remember, Smollett claimed that he was attacked by two men on January 29th. He said that they beat him, they tied a rope around his neck, and doused him with bleach. He also claimed that they shouted racist and homophobic slurs during the assault. However, police now believe that Smollett paid two acquaintances, brothers, I can't pronounce their names, Ocean.
They're Nigerian brothers.
Nigerian brothers, $3,500 to help him orchestrate the attack because he was dissatisfied with his salary.
So before you continue with this, I want everybody at the Brad Squad to let us know what you think about this story. Do you think he really did it? Do you think that the story is true? What exactly do you feel really happened? And then we're going to say our opinions as well.
Okay, because what happened is that the two Nigerian guys,
allegedly still,
are now cooperating with the investigators.
Right.
And they're believing these two guys over Jussie Smollett. Okay, now Jussie, excuse me. On a February 14th interview on Good Morning America, which was just a week ago.
Right.
Okay, Smollett hit back at skeptics. He said, if I had said I was a Muslim or a Mexican or someone black, I feel like the doubters would have supported me a lot more. The FBI is looking into whether the actor sent a threatening letter to the Empire Studio in Chicago the days before. That's the threatening letter.
That is the
Now,
letter.
if Smollett is found to have filed a false police report, it is a Class 4 felony in Illinois, and he can go to jail for 1 to 3 years. If he is found guilty, he will definitely go to jail because it's a big media.
It's a huge
thing.
circus, right?
Now, Fox airs the Empire television series. They have strong support from the producer of 20th Century Fox, and sources tell Variety that the show's producers are considering suspending the actor and kind of like erasing him from the storyline moving forward. What do you think?
So
did he do it?
So absolutely.
Yes.
He faked it. One, they're saying it's because he felt like he wasn't getting paid enough on Empire.
He was making $65,000
an episode,
which is more than most people make in a year.
Exactly. There are 18 episodes in a season, so that's about 1.1, 1.2
he wasn't making
mil.
enough.
That's not enough for him.
He needs psychiatric help.
So
obviously.
he's saying that, he's trying to say, so I wanted to ask you about this. Now he's saying he has a drug problem. So he's saying that he bought ecstasy from one of the brothers, even though one of the brothers is his physical trainer or personal trainer, and the other one is his, the other one was on set as an extra at jail on season 2 of Empire. So now that he's saying that he has a drug problem and he bought ecstasy from one of the brothers, is that going to help his case down the line?
No, he's still going to go to jail. That is not a defense.
And when they asked if he had an alcohol problem or mental issues, he said no.
Right. And quite frankly, you would have to show that
proof
insanity.
Right.
To not be found guilty.
And how do you show insanity?
That you have no idea what's going. You have no. I don't know what the definition of insanity is in Illinois, but generally speaking, it's that you don't know right from wrong.
Right. I am so appalled by this. I was appalled by this when the story broke, and then as there were doubts on it, I was one of the people that's like, how can we live in a country where we still doubt people who say when things like this happen? And then he took everyone for a ride, and he has set both the Black Lives Matter movement and the LGBTQ movement in this country back so far.
That's
he
correct.
has done such an enormous disservice.
Fox News is having a field day.
A field day.
Right, because they are saying, see what bullshit this is?
Exactly.
All right?
Exactly.
When it's not bullshit.
And they're
when it's
actually
not.
speaking facts, which is the problem. In this situation,
Right.
they're actually speaking facts.
They're saying it's right. And they're saying, look how everybody goes and jumps on the bandwagon.
Right.
Racism and it's blah 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 blah, and it's all a bunch of bullshit. And because of one incident.
Right.
Okay.
That's
but
it.
what we need to do is we have to waive all the true incidences.
Right.
All right. I mean, but this is a high profile thing.
Yeah, this is definitely going to set it back, though.
Yeah,
even if it is, that's where the problem is, because when somebody does suffer from or endures a hate crime, You're going to second guess it now just because of this.
Right. It's what's the nursery tale? You know, it's
the boy who cried wolf.
The sky's falling.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Chicken
The
Little.
what?
The sky's falling.
Oh, yeah.
Same
I know
thing.
the boy who cried
The
wolf.
boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
Chicken Little is the same thing. Don't.
I knew from day one though that this wasn't.
You said it was
because
right.
I remember I was in Chicago 2 days before that.
Right.
I was flying to New York that night,
And you were walking around. It was fine.
It was cold as hell. Nobody was outside. And when I was there, it was -1 degrees. By that time, it was already -10. Nobody's walking. And then we found out that he kept on posting on his Instagram story, and he was stuck on the plane from New York going to Chicago. He was stuck on the plane for 5 hours, and then it's another, 1.5 to 2 hour flight. So that was his way of telling the brothers where he was at, because he didn't want their phone number in his call log.
You know what? If you figured it out, you're not even the cops.
Look,
okay,
right.
This is how. Right.
Like,
This is how dumb the whole thing was.
So dumb.
Right. All right. Let's go to Lisa in Queens. Lisa.
Hi, Brad. How are you doing today?
Good.
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I want to ask a quick question, right? I went in for an interview, and I did the interview, and they said to me that I have to wait 120 days, which, I'm waiting, or it's nearly finished anyway. I live in Queens, and I'm now moving to New Jersey.
Once you move, you set yourself back 2 years. Stay in Queens until you get your green card, because as soon as you move, you have to notify immigration that you're moving. They're going to transfer your file to Newark, New Jersey, and you're going to be at the back of the line in Newark. You're going to wait 2 more years. Don't do it. Stay
even
in
though
Queens.
I'm waiting another 120 days for a second interview or something of that sort.
Wait until you get your green. As soon as you move states, you're going to the end of the line. But unless that's what you want.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Brad.
Let's go to Omar in Brooklyn. Omar. Omar in Brooklyn. Going once, going twice. No deal for Omar. Let's go to Allison in Long Island. Allison. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. What's going on?
Okay, I have a question. I have received a
You're breaking up, Allison. You got to take a step to the right and hold your knees in tight.
Daughter has filed for me, and I've received 2 mails. One said authorization for work permit.
Okay.
And the other one said travel document.
Okay.
But what I am worried, because I don't understand much, and it has been saying advance parole.
Right. Advance parole is your travel document, and the EAD is your work permit.
So is there going to be a problem, like, for me to go to Jamaica whenever time I receive that travel document?
No, just don't go for more than 2 weeks at a time.
Okay, so it won't be a problem.
It won't be a problem.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. Easy question, easy answer. Will it be a problem traveling with advance parole? It will not be a problem.
Nope.
That's
not
right.
at all. All right, Belgium, Kim and Jonathan, Yo-Yo Elias. This is the time when you get to shine.
Yes.
The time when you get to do what you get paid to do here. Which is ask me immigration questions in something we like to call social media check-in.
Our very first question is from Michael T, who said, quick question, my situation has kind of changed somewhat. I'm still out of status, still married to my wife, but my wife will not file to change my status. We got into an argument, she threw me out of the house. My son, who's 18 and a citizen, now wants to do my filing. Can he do it? And if so, about how long would it take?
He cannot do your filing until 21.
Okay.
So either wait for your son or discuss an emotional abuse case.
All right. Julian Campbell says, Brad, is it better to divorce to get through faster as a married child been filed for by the citizen's mother in 2012? What do you recommend?
What are my choices?
So is it better to divorce to get through faster as married? The child has been filed for by the citizen's mother in 2012.
Is it faster to be divorced? Yes, but then you're leaving behind the wife forever, because he can't come back up here and then go marry her, because then it would be a fraud.
Tony said, my cousin's asylum case for religious persecution in Chad was referred to an immigration judge. How long is it going to take for the judge to make a decision in the case?
Well, you first have to have a master calendar hearing, and then you have to file your asylum application all over again with the judge, and then you have to have an individual hearing, and that's going to take a 2-year process.
No corruptos, no impunidad.
He's back.
He does it well. He does it well.
That was pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
I felt like that
Say
was like,
hello to my little friend.
No. Mine is more like the novelas.
Yeah.
I thought you were Tony Montana.
No corruptos, no impunidad.
Okay.
I thought you were Tony Montana.
No, that's
It
like
sounded
Italian.
Tony Montana.
Spanish.
No, Tony Montana was Cuban.
He was
Tony
cute.
Montana. Oh,
yeah,
he was.
Yeah. Say hello to my little friend.
Dang, I didn't
You don't know that movie?
Yeah, I do, but
You just know the line. You never
that's
actually
all.
seen it.
I've never
Yeah,
seen it.
He's Cuban.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So my husband threatened to call immigration to cancel his
calm
petition.
down, all right?
Right. Listen, so my husband threatened to call immigration to cancel his petition. Will VAWA help me?
Yes.
Maurizio said, I've got advanced parole and I overstayed my visa 400 days. I know that if I travel abroad, I shouldn't have problems coming back. But what should I do just in case something does happen?
What does she have?
Advanced parole.
Nothing's going to happen. You're fine. Keep my number just in case. By the way, we haven't seen. I'm a survivor.
Mhm.
Used to listen to us on the radio all the time.
Yeah.
Was like one of our top Brad squatters when we were on the radio before we even did our Facebook show.
It's because we changed our time.
We changed our time,
Yeah.
and I remember she works as a teacher.
Mhm.
I know everybody's story. I know all the Brad Squad story.
Yeah.
So she works as a teacher out in Arizona, so she can't watch anymore, but she's joining us now. So hello, Anna.
Hello,
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a long time.
That's a
but she used to
special
watch.
shout.
She used to not watch. She used to listen to our radio show. all
And
the
she
time.
still watches reruns. She'll
Yeah.
pop into the
Yeah.
comments every once
Yeah,
in a while.
I haven't seen her in a long time. Watch. So.
I'm a survivor.
All right.
Nice.
What else?
Wasim Musa. Dear Brad, I'm sponsored for the immigrant visa by my son, who's the final year of his graduation in Indiana and a U.S. citizen by birth. So at the interview, the consular officer asked me for the joint sponsors' official IRS tax transcripts returns to be uploaded, the recent ones, so that he can have another look. And that was all he said.
I don't. So what's the question? Okay.
Typically, it's a what does that mean?
Yeah, maybe that.
Sorry. So okay, I was waiting for the question. Go again.
So he's sponsored by his immigrant or sponsored for the immigrant visa.
Oh,
by
so
his
they want to
son.
know why they asked for these certain
Probably,
because if you give a copy of a tax return, that doesn't necessarily mean that was what was filed. There are a lot of people who can download a 1040 return on the computer on Google. You can Google it, 1040 application, print it, type it up, and say, "Here's my tax return." How would the embassy know whether that's real or not? So now they're asking for a certified transcript.
And the recent one.
The recent one from the IRS to confirm that the copy of the tax return that you submitted at the embassy is the actual tax return that was filed with the IRS.
Got you.
Rosie Ann said, my interview was scheduled and it took 18 months to actually get it done. Should I do a new medical exam now? My friend said it's valid for 2 years.
They're generally valid for 1 year. Certainly, I would bring another medical just in case, but, see what happens.
And as a follow-up, also, can you talk more about the advanced parole, whether it's actually safe to travel on it or not,
Safe.
especially for people who have a VAWA and an affidavit and an adjustment of status pending?
Safe.
Awaken Height says, my name is Leisha. I have a pending VAWA case. My EAD is expiring in June. How soon should I renew my EAD?
90 days before.
James Harris said, as a newcomer to the U.S., can I give immigration a new address on the day I arrive, apart from the address I give the consular officer at my interview?
Yes, you can. You can change your address.
Sunita says, hi, if someone from Trinidad comes with a B1 visa since 2003, paid taxes with a tax ID number, never got in trouble with the law, and left New York and went back to Trinidad on his own in 2018, he did not get deported. Can his daughter file for him in the next 3 years when she becomes a citizen living in the USA, or would he have to pay a penalty for a certain amount of years?
How long did he stay out of status here?
He came in a B1 visa since 2003.
Yeah, he has a 10-year bar.
He has a 10-year bar.
Right, so the daughter can file for him in 10 years from the time he left.
From the time he left.
Right, you can actually file a year before the time he left. You can't go to the embassy for 10 years.
So he went back to Trinidad.
Yeah, so he's not coming back for another 6-7 years.
Sheesh, okay.
We've got a next question from Vanish Beckford, who said, if you file for your child in Jamaica, when they send you the letter, do they send it in the mother's name or the child who's the actual beneficiary?
Which letter are we talking about?
It just says when they send you a letter, so I'm assuming
In
any
Jamaica?
mail. Yes.
It would be in the beneficiary's name.
Faith Campbell, Brad, as the mother of a married son who I filed for in 2011, and because the wait is so long, would it be better if he divorced?
We answered that.
Better divorce?
I said there's nothing better. It's faster if you get divorced, but you're leaving your wife behind forever.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was a different name.
Yeah. Different platform, too. Marsha said, my friend and her husband went for her interview yesterday, and they separated them. Why do you think that is?
They don't believe it's a real marriage. It's called the Bratified marriage game, right, Belgium Give?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what USCIS is calling it these days,
That's
too.
Right. We're going to
Step
bratify
right on
you.
in here to get
We're gonna
bratified.
All right, His Awesome on YouTube says, question is, what are the processing times for asylum based on green card category, and is a green card interview required since I already had the asylum interview about 1 year and 3 months ago? And what sort of questions should I expect from the interview?
It's 1 year from the time you get your asylum, you can apply to adjust your status for your green card. The adjustment application status processing time is 12 to 24 months.
Kamal's got a question. I came as an F1 student, but I got TPS after 6 months and left my F1 status. But I haven't had any kind of status gap or illegal stay, but my F1 is going to expire in November of this year. So could I use that same visa and a new I-20 with a service fee payment to enter the country as an F1 student in this fall of 2019 for this semester? Or should I go ahead and apply for a new F1 from the U.S. Embassy abroad?
If you have a valid visa and a valid I-20, you could re-enter on the student visa.
Okay.
Aston says, hey, Brad, April of this year, it's going to be 1 year since I submitted my paperwork. I got an interview for the 19th of March. Do you think I should do my medical over?
If it's over a year, yes.
Don Malo said, is driving with a suspended license a crime of moral turpitude?
No.
Copper Clan says, hey team, it's been 2 years already since I'm married, and I presume that I'll have to file a waiver. Is it okay to file a waiver without a lawyer? I came to the U.S. on a visitor's visa and got married after 90 days. My lawyer says he would charge me his fees if I want to file a waiver through him. So far, I've paid him all while my AOS was pending. I'm not sure if he's being greedy or not. I hope not.
He's not being greedy. It's like asking, could I fly a plane without ever learning how to fly a plane? It's very rare, if ever, you're going to find somebody to get a waiver approved without a lawyer who knows what they're doing.
Zone Pal said, when you're going to do the medical for immigration, should you wait until you get the interview date, or should you go ahead and do it as you get the medical papers?
Get the interview. You do your medical for the time of your interview now.
Simone Johnson says, good day, Honorable Brad.
Yes. Yes, it is Honorable Brad. Thank you very much.
I feel like you should have like the white curly wig,
yes.
You know?
Like a barrister.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Please, decorum here while you're asking social media questions, Jonathan. Decorum, please.
My question.
My question, sire.
Yeah, my question, sire.
You reminded me of what was it with Eddie Murphy?
I knew you were going to say with Eddie Murphy.
Coming to America.
Coming to America. Arsenio Hall.
Coming to America.
Coming to America.
Yeah,
Right.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. All right. My uncle was wrongfully arrested for DT. What's
DT?
that? What's
I was
DT?
literally Googling it, trying to find
For
out.
a dump truck?
No idea what DT is.
For my uncle was illegally arrested.
Maybe drug trafficking?
Drug trafficking. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Very good.
Oh, look at me.
Very good,
Okay.
Jonathan. Very, very good.
All right, the court found evidence was fabricated by means of camera and lab tests. Less than 6 months, the case stayed finished. He received his clearance, no convictions from RCMP. His USA immigrant visa, the I-130, was refused. Reason to believe. Is this for real by law?
Yes, it's for real and by law. You can absolutely not be found guilty of a crime, and the government can still deny your visa for reasoning to believe that you are a prior drug trafficker. That would require to overcome some sort of federal litigation, mandamus, APA claim, depending on what the situation is.
Gotti Izu said, is it right or legal for a pro bono lawyer to request a legal fee from his client?
Some pro bono attorneys are I forgot what the term is, like low fee.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily mean no fee.
Okay.
You hear also like Catholic Charities, for example. They are they're a charity organization, but they don't charge nothing. They just charge low fees. I forgot what the term is called.
Okay.
Okay. So, but there's all sorts of different deals.
Nah, got it.
Tanya Winter on YouTube says, do peeps with ITINs eligible for tax refunds or gotta wait until their immigration status is legal?
Yeah, peeps need a social security number, then they can get a tax refund.
Tamari Pert said, how can I get a visa? I'm 17 and neither my mom nor my father have visitors visas.
You may rely on it. How do you get
Perfect.
I need a consultation, right? I have no idea.
Maybe they're asking, like, what are different ways?
What kind of visa is he even talking
a
about?
tourist
Where is
visa.
he?
A tourist visa.
You have to show that you plan on returning back home. You can't use a tourist visa to come live here or work here. That's the general idea.
There you go. All right, Nova Samaj says, hey, Brad, as a green card holder, what form can I use to file for children over 21, and what is the cost?
In I-130, it's $535.
Mark DZ has a friend who was deported to Africa with a criminal record, but before the deportation, he legally married a U.S. citizen wife. He wants to come back because they have 3 children here together. How can he proceed?
He married a U.S. citizen wife?
Yes.
He's got 3 kids?
Yeah.
Why can't the wife file for him?
Because he was deported with a criminal record.
What is the criminal record?
That's what we don't know.
Well, that's what we need to know.
Yeah. Mia Montauk, what would happen if a person adjusted his status through marriage and owe taxes?
You're still going to owe the taxes after you get your green card. It doesn't expire. There's only 2 things in life that are definite. Who is that, Mia Montauk?
Yes.
1 is we're all going to die, and 2 is you have to pay your taxes. Now, there's a asterisk on that.
What's that?
Because we have a young lady here, okay, by the name of Carmela Waldron, that if you owe taxes and you can't afford to pay them, she can almost wipe them off and negotiate it down with the IRS, and she does a great job. It's a free consultation. You should give her a call back.
And so with adjusting the status through marriage, is that going to affect it that he owes taxes?
No. Was that the question?
I feel like that
okay,
was
fine, but
the
she
question.
still needs to deal with this tax problem.
Okay.
Glamma is asking for a friend who's filing for VAWA. Should she file the appropriate forms or just the I-360 alone?
I-360 and adjustment if you're here. Get your work permit.
Don Malo says, is there some sort of form or waiver that I can take when I travel for people with criminal convictions that I can use at re-entry? Green card holder offense is DUI. Thank you.
No, there's no form.
Monique Gooden said, hey, Sir B, quick question. How long does it take to process an I-824 application? Is it processed here or there? For example, it was sent to Jamaica. Does that process go through NVC?
It goes through NVC.
Sandy.
So if you want to send it to Jamaica, that you where it says check off what consulate, you write NVC.
Got it.
Sandy has a question. A friend of a friend.
Friend of a friend, which is basically Sandy.
Right.
That's what I think. Possibly.
A friend of a friend went to her green card interview 2 weeks ago. She and her husband messed up a question where they were asked how much they paid for rent, and they gave separate answers simultaneously.
100, 500. Right, like that. Right?
Mm-hmm. You should know how much you're paying for rent.
That's right.
Completely different from what is on the lease. She got a letter advising her that no decision can be made at the time, and that her application is sent to somewhere in Texas for review. She wants to know, what does this mean? Also, her husband was asked about her kids, and he could not answer.
It means that they don't believe it's a real marriage, and they're actually investigating it for fraud.
Can you guys not hear me?
No.
My batteries are dead. Can you guys hear me?
No.
Go ahead.
Okay, we've got a question from Emily who said, it's been over 120 days since my marriage-based interview and I haven't heard anything yet. What should I do?
They had the interview?
Yeah, and it's been 3 months.
Wait, 3 more months?
4 months.
Wait, 4 months, and give me a call.
All right. Are we at Sue Green?
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Can
you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
What about now?
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Paycheck 1, paycheck 2. All right. That's what I always say when I MC.
Birdie 1 to Birdie 2. Birdie 1 to Birdie 2.
All right, Sue Green. My friend came up on a visitor's visa, been here 10 years, out of status, husband became a citizen, wants to know, can she use the advance parole to go to Jamaica for a wedding with the pending I-486?
Damn right you can! We've answered that question 10 times.
Yes, we have.
As Carol Anderson, the Tiger, so succinctly said 20 minutes ago, because I do read the comments, listen to Brad, you can travel on the advance parole.
For the love of God, people,
Yes.
I hope everyone who has advanced parole is going on trips around the world for less than 2 weeks.
That's correct.
Like, I want all of you to be enjoying this.
Right. Just make it fast.
Just, my God.
Just get back here soon.
Joel Edme said, I'd like to know if someone who was on deportation but never actually left the country, she was approved for an I-130 petition, but the joint motion was denied. Now she's got TPS. Can a travel document help her out with the adjustment of status by using the old I-130 approval?
Yes.
Huh.
She could, if she has TPS, she can get advanced parole on the TPS. If she needs to travel to re-enter to come back, she can do that, and then she can try to readjust her status.
Perfect.
Mel Burns says, hey Brad, my sister's a U.S. citizen, filed an I-130 for my mom who's in Jamaica. My sisters are 18 and 11 and living with her. They were listed on the I-130 as her children. Will my sister receive a green card once the I-130 is approved?
What? Is this like they're saying that the sister said that somebody else's children were hers?
So my sister's a U.S. citizen, filed the I-130 for the mom who's in Jamaica.
And whose children
And my sisters are 18 and 11 are living with her.
Oh, I understand.
So like the other
mom's
sisters.
getting the green card only. Then mom comes up to the United States.
So the mom has to file.
Mom comes up first, and then mom has to turn around and file for her 2 children, which is her daughters, which would take about 2 to 3 years.
So the sister can't file for the sister.
No. I can, but it's going to take a long time.
It would be faster for the mother.
Correct.
Sammy says, how long after my swearing in can I file for my mom, and how long will it take?
The next day, 18 months.
Korshed says, hi, Mr. Brad. What is the important evidence on marriage case?
Prove you live together.
Anna Marie says, how long does it take to get my work permit? My priority date is September 4th, and my biometric got done in October.
I thought she called.
Did she?
Yes, she did. I said I said it's February now. Should be any day.
Should be any day.
Correct.
Simone is wondering, she didn't get her work card, but she got the EAD, but did not get the advanced parole. What's that about?
She didn't apply for it. You got to apply for a work permit on an I-765, and you got to apply for advanced parole on an I-131. So she probably didn't apply for it.
Omatayo says, hello, King Brad.
Yes, I am King Brad.
Is that how a king talks? Like
I have no idea, but that's how I would talk if I was
you were
king.
king?
Yes. I just imagine how it would. How I go, please come Come hither!
Come hither.
Come hither!
Off with his head.
No, I would never have anybody off with his
You
head.
wouldn't?
You would so be off
No.
with his head.
Depending on the day.
No. Take his pinky off!
Remove his fingernails
Remove
one
his
by
fingernails!
All right, King
That got
Brad.
dark.
Yes, I would never do that. I'm a benevolent king.
Yes,
my,
you
my
are.
people would love me.
Just the people who work for you probably
No,
would.
my people would love me. They would love me.
All right, King Brad,
Yes.
can I file the N-400 while my ROC is still going on in a marriage based on the green card?
The ROC is the removal of conditions. You can, and more people are doing it now because it's taking so long.
Roseanne's got a follow-up. She said, I've got my interview next month. Is it for sure that they're going to put it on hold until my VAWA gets approved? And are they going to
Yes.
do the interview already with me? Or will I just go to the end of the line?
Go on the interview, bring proof that you have a VAWA pending, and they'll keep your case open.
So as long as she brings all of her receipts from all of the VAWA
Correct.
application
She'll be
that she's
okay.
done, she'll
Correct.
be okay. Great.
King Dane has a question. What documents establish that state court have jurisdiction under state laws to make a legal conclusion on a SIJ case over 18?
Well, the law says that if you're a child and you are basically what they're asking is that the Immigration Service has decided that children who get SIJs between 18 and 21 are no longer eligible. The definition of a child under the Immigration Nationality Act is you're under 21. And under the under the statute for SIJ, it says if you are a child and you are deemed to be in long-term foster care, or a judge was to, and I'm paraphrasing it, or a judge was to say that it's not in your best interest to be returned to your parents, you would be eligible for special juvenile immigrant. So so the Immigration Service, Donald Trump and his henchmen are actually interpreting the immigration laws as a new regulation, absolutely in contradiction. Thank you very much.
No
Sometimes
problem.
I get tongue-tied.
I got you.
Right, I talk for 2 straight hours.
Yeah,
It gets,
hey, listen.
Takes
in contradiction to what the actual Immigration and Nationality Act says. So all these cases are going up on appeal. As a matter of fact, the Ninth Circuit has already come down and said what Trump is doing is illegal.
Yay.
Whew. Copper Clan says, are there any tough policies against Pakistanis? Once you said if you're from Pakistan, then it would take 24 months to hear from them on a pending AOS. Why?
Yes, because Trump says you're from a shithole country. That's why it takes so long. It's not fair, and I'm not being pejorative to you. I'm just telling you exactly. Trump says people from this country, we don't like you, and we're going to investigate you till the cows come home. And that's why it takes so long. Which is why you have a guy like Abadir in my office who sues the shit out of the Immigration Service
Right.
when they do this stuff, and we get results. So it's either you wait and you sit on your hands, or you do something about it.
Right. Nicola Guy Coleman says, how long does it take to get your receipt from immigration? My friend submitted her stuff back in September of last year and has not heard anything yet.
Well, if she hasn't heard anything yet, that means immigration never received her application. You should have gotten at least a receipt.
Mel Byrne said, my friend's wife filed an I-130 for him, which was recently approved. He's living in Jamaica. However, he was denied entry because he was traveling on a one-way ticket on a B1 visa. Is there going to be a waiver that he needs, and when should it be filed? Is it before he received an interview date or after the interview?
Why does he need a waiver?
Because he was denied entry because he arrived on a one-way on a B1 visa.
If he was summarily found inadmissible, he was actually deported at the airport,
border, right?
The border for misrepresentation and deportation. He needs 2 waivers.
Oh wow.
Sandra says, my friend's husband petitioned for her. He's a U.S. citizen. She already did her biometrics and waiting for the work permit and green card, and they denied the case for the latest tax documents. What does she do in this case?
Why was it denied?
Because of the latest tax documents.
What was the problem with the latest tax documents?
Don't know.
I don't know either. I need to know more. Meanwhile, Jill says in my ear that Groundhog Sam is yelling at her.
Ooh, he's mad.
He's mad because they screwed up the audio.
Right.
And he says it was a good comedy skit. He worked hard on it, and he wants to redo it again.
Okay.
So let's watch Groundhog Sam again. and then we're going to come back and finish up social media.
Okay.
And then we'll go to some more fun stuff after.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Groundhog Sam!
Groundhog, someone is waiting for you in the conference room.
For me? Ooh, okay. Oh, someone's come to see me? Nobody ever comes to see me. Ooh, I wonder who it is. Oh my goodness! Wow!
Hey, Grandma Sam, I'm your biggest fan. Can I get your autograph?
You came all the way to Spar Bernstein to visit me?
I did. I came all the way here to see you.
Oh my goodness! Tell my biggest fan.
That's what Sam is yelling in my
I
ear.
think Sam knew that it wasn't going to work. He just wanted to see himself on.
Jill is saying Sam chewed on the wires again.
Must have been.
He wouldn't sabotage. Oh, he's doing a Jussie Smollett? He's sabotaging himself?
He sabotaged himself.
Dang.
Yeah, Sam just pulled the Smollett.
Smollett.
Right, we're going to call him Groundhog Smollett from that one. All right, so let's finish up social media.
All right.
Tony says, I entered the U.S. with no inspection. What are my chances of actually getting a green card through my U.S. citizen mom?
You can get sponsored and need a provisional waiver.
Mrs. Tanish Williams says a friend got married, got his permanent green card, they got a divorce. Can he file for his citizenship 90 days before the 5-year date?
Yes.
We've got another question from Sabrina who says, can an aunt adopt her nieces or can a grandma file for them?
An aunt can adopt nieces on an orphan petition. Grandma cannot file for them. But you don't go adopt. There's a process to go through. I'm not going through it now because we got too much social media. But you do it as an orphan petition. Call us if you're interested.
All right. Joyce Bowden says, hey, Brad, how long does it take to get your citizenship after you filed for it?
We just said at the top of the hour, it's almost 31 months now.
Almost 31 months now.
Jody on YouTube said, if you have a J1 home residency restriction, do you have to get it waived before your permanent resident spouse files your I-130, or can both processes be going on at the same time?
You can file the I-130, but you can't file an adjustment and go for a visa appointment until you get the waiver.
Okay.
Okay.
Skirkilla 1987. Skirkilla 1987. Twitch TV.
That's what it's called? Skirkilling Twitch TV?
Skirkilla 1987. Skirkilla 1987. Twitch TV.
Well, he certainly's got a Twitch. Skirkilling. I don't know.
Wait till you hear this question. Brad, if someone has a gun possession charge and is trying to do adjustment of status, what should they do first?
Resolve your criminal case first, sir. You can't file while you have a pending case. He has a pending case, or?
Just says that someone has a gun possession charge and is trying to do
I don't know what do you mean by a charge. Have you been convicted? Are you going through the process right now?
Right.
What were you convicted of? Where were you convicted of? How long ago were you convicted of? I think the first step is you call Brad.
Yeah, because they're doing an adjustment of status by marriage.
And when you file an application for your green card and you have any sort of criminal situation, you better get a good lawyer.
Our final question of the night is from Dorcas Kissoon, who said, my husband filed for my daughter when she was 18, and he filed for her son as well. What I didn't know is that prior to his marriage with me, my husband had a domestic violence past with his ex-wife. Is there any possibility that my daughter is not going to get through because he filed for her and he has this criminal past?
As long as it's not sexual abuse, it's fine.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. So, you know, Jonathan, most people probably do not know that Clarkston, Georgia, located right outside of Atlanta, Georgia, happens to be a United Nations refugee destination city. As a matter of fact, I didn't know it myself.
Wow.
I recently spoke to one of the town's residents, Kitty Murray, who has embraced the diversity by creating Refuge Coffee Company, which serves delicious coffee and specialty drinks while employing only refugees and immigrants to work there. Now, Kitty and one of her employees, Sumaya Mascudi, recently joined me to talk about this incredible business. Let's watch. One woman's love of good coffee diversity, and bringing people together has turned into a booming nonprofit business in Clarkston, Georgia, which happens to be a United Nations refugee destination city. The Refuge Coffee Company serves delicious coffee and specialty drinks to customers while employing a refugee work staff. The company's employees are provided with valuable job and life training skills. In return, they teach the customers about the different cultural backgrounds that make up this unique and vibrant staff. Joining me is Refuge Coffee Company founder and CEO Kitty Murray and one of her employees, Sumaya Mascoudi, who is originally from Afghanistan. Welcome, ladies, and thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So Kitty, you bought a truck a few years ago and you started serving coffee. What gave you the idea to buy this truck and then hire only refugees, which I believe is what you do, and then also turn this truck into a nonprofit?
Well, to start with, my husband and I live just 3 blocks down the road here in Clarkston. So we're in the community and we haven't been here that long. So we bought the truck 4 years ago, and a minor correction, I didn't buy it. Because we're a nonprofit, we raised money to buy it.
How did you raise money?
Well, my first idea was to invite a bunch of friends over, and my husband and I would serve them dinner and tell them about this great idea and ask them to fund it. Our own kids said to us, you know, this idea isn't really fully formed enough yet. You're not ready to ask for money. So we invited some just smart business people over who cared about the community and asked for their wisdom, but they're the ones who said, you know, it's just a better business decision to start smaller and start with a coffee truck. So we raised money eventually.
What brought you to Clarkston, Georgia in the first place, you and your husband?
We were living in the city. We were ready to buy our last house. You know, we didn't have any illusions that we were going to swoop in and like be superheroes or anything like that. But we just wanted to live somewhere where our whole neighborhood didn't look just like us, you know, and where we could interact with the community. And so we have friends who bought a real estate development here and had some houses. And we bought one of their houses and just moved in.
So you were aware when you moved to Clarkston, you were under no surprise that this was a very diverse immigrant city or town.
Yeah. We had actually volunteered with one of the resettlement agencies, you know, to help get a family acclimated a few years before. And so we had a few relationships here. And the thing we discovered is Atlanta is like most big cities, it's just a pain to get around in. And so we wanted to invest in this family's life, but we had to fight traffic to do it and change our patterns. And so to live here made it easier.
I understand there's 13,000 people who live there. Do you know what percentage is refugees? What percentage are American citizens?
I know that more than half are foreign born. And of those, I would say a good majority are either resettled refugees or immigrants who've come from all over the world. 65 languages here, I think, spoken.
And these are people in a community that is diversified. It's not segmented, that this is where this group lives, this is where this group lives. This is a culturally mixed, ethnically mixed community that talks and deals with each other on a regular basis.
Yes, it is a melting pot of every kind, I think. Yeah. It's atypical in the number of languages and ethnicities that are here. I think Atlanta does have a more racially diverse community that is slowly becoming more integrated with each other in every way. But in terms of people from other countries, yeah, this is super unique. That's the beauty of the community. You know, there's so many different places and you can learn about cultures. And then it's also a community of survivors, people who've been through a lot, everybody. To me, it's a community of heroes and normal humans, but who also have been through something that kind of gives them a heroic approach to life.
You already told us you bought this coffee truck and you decided to start smaller, then open up a brick and mortar. And you wanted this place to be like an international Starbucks. Do people sit outside of your coffee truck? Do they congregate outside of your coffee truck?
Yes, people gather here. Our whole thing was, we didn't want it to be, where white hipsters hung out to get good coffee and that was it, but it was just in a unique environment. We wanted it to draw the entire community, and that's a challenge because we wanted there to be like that cross hatch of cultures and people, including garden variety Americans. When we started, we had one truck and we rented the front half of a parking lot, and there was an old gas station, really old gas station. If I can show you, we're inside it right now. And we parked the truck up there 2 days a week. We painted a sunflower on the asphalt to be the patio. We set up tables and chairs and tents. And we were so desperate. There were several of us. We would grab people off the street and say, hey, can we buy you coffee? And so over time, it became kind of a fun gathering place. We're not here to promote any political agenda, any religious agenda, any of that. We just started gathering people, and we would do events and draw people. And then eventually we were able to buy another truck, and then we were able to buy the old gas station. So, we just kind of slowly taken over this little corner, and it's right in the center of Clarkston. I just think it's a place for people to find out who those people are and who our neighbors are, like Samaya.
You're a self-professed, I guess, soccer mom before you got into this, I understand. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Other than making coffee for the other soccer moms, how'd you learn all about coffee that you can go and say, okay, I'm going to now serve coffee and we're going to become experts in coffee?
If most founders are honest, what they would tell you is that they are good at finding people. So I still don't know very much. I really don't. I know a little about telling a good story. I know a little about gathering people, but what I do know is kind of networking and finding people who want the same things. And so, they're coffee snobs and then they're kind of coffee geeks. And I'm a coffee snob. I like it. I want it to be good. I know what I like and don't like, but I'm still not very good at it. Samaya knows. I'll get on the truck sometimes and I just kind of get in their way. So what we did was I cashed in on free 1-hour consultations with everybody I could think of. Attorneys, business people, restaurant owners, and then coffee people. So I eventually found a guy who owns a couple of coffee shops who agreed to consult with me. And then he introduced me to a guy named Caleb Goodrum, who became our full-time support staff member. And we raised enough money to pay him so he could make sure we did coffee really well.
So, Samaya, you've been working in this coffee truck for how long now?
Been almost for 1 year.
What do you do on the coffee truck? Tell me what your job is there.
I do make coffee there. We have catering that we go outside and we serve people outside. Also, we have a lot of movie sets. There is customer service. There is, you have to make the coffee. You have to make sure also that you have everything.
Now, you're originally from Afghanistan, right?
Right.
And so tell me how you got from Afghanistan to Clarkston, Georgia.
I actually was born in Iran. My family actually also grew up in Iran. So I never kind of lived in Afghanistan. I went back to Afghanistan when I was 10 years old with my family. And then we stayed there for 2.5 months. I got here in 2016.
And you came with your family or you came alone?
Oh, with my family. So in Iran, my grandparents, they flew to Iran 50 years ago. And my other 3 sisters, we were born in Iran. So I was there until 18 years old. So we were all as a refugee the whole life. It didn't really matter if I was born there also. So for 18 years, I was a refugee. My family, they were refugee for about more than 35 years. So we kind of wanted to move in a country that we can have basic human rights and not be a refugee anymore. We had to go to a country that we can say that we need a citizen so they can send our cases, our problems to the countries like America, that they accept refugee. So the closest country to us was registered by United Nations, UNHCR. We kind of said that what our problem was, why we moved, and why we want to go to other country. And then what United Nations is doing, they send these cases to America, and then one of these countries will accept us, which in 2016, America accepted us and we got here.
How long did you wait between going to the United Nations Refugee Center to apply for to become a refugee at, I guess, at multiple Western westernized countries to actually being accepted by the United States and moving to America?
Right. So we stayed totally 4 years and 3 months in Turkey, but it was about after 3 years that they called us that America accepted us.
What was life like in Iran versus Turkey versus Clarkston, Georgia?
In Iran, it was like the place that we grew up. It was good, everything. There are really nice people, but maybe in other countries it's also same. Maybe you cannot have a lot of rights. But in Turkey also, it was really hard, because we had to wait the whole life. Every minute we had to wait for a call from UN that says this country accepted you, you will go. You didn't know that what will happen, and I couldn't study.
Basically, in Iran, what you're saying is that you were very restricted in being able to move around, and certainly they also, it sounds like, restrict any ability to upwardly move up the economic ranks.
When I first talked to Samaya about her story, I think when I hear, well, you can't be a citizen, I don't think about what that means. But in other countries, not being a citizen means a lot of other knots, and a lot of other restrictions.
Sumaya came and applied for a job. How do you find refugees to come work on your food truck?
We have a process, but usually what happens is it's word of mouth, because this community, 13,000 people are in 1.4 square miles. So it's a pretty densely populated city, and there are 5 resettlement agencies that work here, and then a lot of other nonprofits who do great work, and we know a lot of those people, and so we'll just kind of put the word out and say, we need somebody. When we first started, it was all word of mouth, just people we knew in the community. And now we actually get applications, and we have a little more of a process.
Do you have to be a refugee?
You have to be an immigrant,
because be an immigrant.
Some people are here through other immigration processes.
Are you looking for people who have qualified skills?
If we were to boil down what we do into one phrase, it would be that we're in the business of welcome. So everything we do, we kind of run through a sieve of does that say welcome to the rest of the world? If we do this event, or if we say this on social media, are we saying welcome? And so when we hire our trainees, we tell them right away, that's what we're doing. We're welcoming people, and we are welcoming you, yes, but you're a part of the business of welcome. And so in one of their first training sessions, I always give them a welcome mat, and just say, here, this is your job. It's a full-time living wage, 1-year job. So that's 35, 40 hours a week. But of that 40 hours, 2 to 3 are spent in a classroom with our job trainer. And that classroom time is really valuable, and it's really a great part of it. So it's on the job training, but it's also that classroom time. And the classroom time has some English training, although we outsource some of that. Depending on trainees' needs, we've had people who speak barely a word of English when they start, and people who are so curious and such fast learners. But we do a lot of preparation for the citizenship test, even though, you have to wait some time before you can take that. We have even just kind of a life plan sessions to learn how to plan for dreams, because most refugees don't have the luxury of dreaming about the future. And that's been a really fun part of the process, to say, no, you live in a place now where you can dream about your future. You can be whatever you put your mind to be. We're going to open doors as much as we can and kind of, give you whatever we've got to encourage you in the process.
Now, how many people do you employ?
We have a staff of 14, 7 trainees. Then the 7 support staff, 4 of us are full-time. I'm one of those. 2 of those full-time employees are refugees who were former trainees.
Tell me about some of these people who started off as training. Besides Sumaya, you're a manager?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
okay.
yet. So Leon Shambana is from the Democratic Republic of Congo. He was our very first trainee, so he always calls himself the firstborn of Refuge. He is like a stern father who's also super loving and fun. He started with us. He's amazing. And so about the time his 1 year was up was when we moved into this space, and we were going to be open more, and we just needed someone to manage it. And he was like the perfect fit. Our other person on our support staff is Ahmed Al-Zukaini. Ahmed is from Syria, from Damascus. He was a pharmacist in Syria. When he came, he had only been here a few weeks, and he could barely speak English. He's increased our catering business in the last 6 months by 50%. So he has really grown our business. So those are the only 2 that we've ended up hiring full-time. We've only been doing this 3.5 years. And our hope is, we'd love to keep everybody. Like, I don't want Samaya to go away, but we also want them to fulfill whatever their dreams are. So Samaya will be starting college this year, and I think she would make a great lawyer. But anyway, so she's looking into ways to kind of give back to her home country. So everybody has a different path. It's definitely not a cookie cutter training.
So Samaya, how has working at the Refuge Coffee Company shaped your ability to go to college, want to go to college?
So going to the college, yeah, it was something that I always wanted for sure, but why I wanted to go, what I was going to study. And then after I graduated, I found out the answers for all of these questions. For sure. Refuge helped me create my dreams, helped me find my goals, helped me to reach out to them. It's doing a lot. I mean, I really appreciate it. It's so great.
Now, Samaya, you talk about your dreams, and I understand from reading a little bit about your background that when you came to the United States in 2016, you had no dream. And now, after working at the Refuge Coffee Company, you do have dreams. Tell me what your dreams are, your American dreams for the future.
So the dream is, to help the women of my country to get their freedom and rights. So what happened is I saw a lot of people, a lot of Afghan women that they came from Afghanistan, but they're living here, but they don't have a lot of freedom. They don't have rights. At their home, they cannot, talk to everyone, to whoever they want. They cannot go out whenever they want. So my dream is kind of to teach the men of Afghanistan to learn about it, that the women are also human. They have to have the rights too.
The rights of women in Iran or the rights of women in Afghanistan, or are they kind of like nobody has rights in either country?
In Iran, it's better, but I'm talking about Afghanistan for sure.
Now, Kitty, you have this truck. You certainly have given an opportunity to refugees and given them an opportunity that they otherwise may never have had. Have you seen people come together?
Yes. We always say we don't do what we do for the refugee community. We do it with the refugee community. Samaya has already brought so much value to our community, and she's such a good role model for a lot of young women here. And she's the oldest in her family that's here, and so she was the provider at the beginning. National rhetoric today is pretty polarized, but what we experience here is the opposite of polarization. What I love is people learning about other people. And one thing we started to observe early on is that when trainees left us, that they didn't just leave with whatever training we were able to give them, but what they leave with is this network of friends. And friends from other refugee friends from other countries, and then American friends. So that has been a really neat thing. And not only are they equally human and valuable, they have so much to offer. And, their eyes are opened, and it moves the needle, that ability to see other people not as other anymore.
You see that even in our politics today, even people who are anti-immigrant say, kick all the immigrants out, except this person who I know, who I work with. There's my friend, he's lovely. But everybody else who I don't know any of them, get them out. Which is why I think you're doing a wonderful job. You expose people to people of other cultures, they get less scared of them, and they say, wow, they're more like me than they're not like me.
Yes, absolutely.
What are your plans for Refuge Coffee Company for the future?
I wish we could do the ordering online so you could buy from New York, and you're an attorney, so you understand UBI, unrelated business income. For some reason, whole bean coffee is UBI for us right now, and we can't sell it. At the end of the day, whatever we can do to employ more people is what we want to do, but we want to do it well. The next thing that really on our radar is to build out a commercial kitchen here. So we have brick and mortar-ish is what we have, but we want to have a commercial kitchen, and what we could do with a commercial kitchen in this community, there are limitless possibilities. So that's kind of our next step. We have a couple of other options to possibly be open in other areas. People talk to us about franchising. I'm not so sure I want to get into that, but the idea that others could use this model in other refugee hubs around the country, I'm open to looking into that.
And tell me what your American dreams are for the future.
Martin Luther King Jr. said that he believed unconditional love and justice, but some word that means not coerced justice, but real justice could win the day. That's what I hope for.
How do I find your truck? Where are we located?
The best way is our website. It's so easy. It's refuge.coffee. You can find us like that. The shop is easy to find. Look on Yelp, look on anything, just for Refuge Coffee, and you can find us in Atlanta. On social media, we're Refuge Coffee C-O, so Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Our goal is to be easy to find.
All right, good.
And the best place to just show up is here in Clarkston. And then we can direct you to some of the great restaurants if you wanted to go out to dinner or,
Yeah. What's your best specialty drink if I come by?
My favorite is a cortado, which is just kind of a really intense version of a cappuccino.
Okay.
That's my favorite. But I think our customer favorite is probably vanilla latte, don't you think?
Latte?
Yeah.
It's an amazing idea. It sounds like you're doing a really wonderful job, and I loved hearing about it. Kitty Murray and Sumaya Mascoudi, thank you very much for joining us today. Good luck on the continued success. Sumaya, good luck on your continued success in college and university, and maybe we'll see you in the courtroom one day. You never know.
Great. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
coming on. All right. Wow. How much?
That was a month ago.
Yeah, lost
Chubby
about 10
cheeks.
pounds.
There you go.
Chubby cheeks back then.
There you go. And now you're all svelte looking.
Yeah. All right. Comments of the day.
All right.
Oh, moving
that's
in
right.
action.
Yes.
Our first comment of the day is from Facebook. Mohammed Al-Pourni. He says, "You're an angel in a world that has become interested to the money. How amazing you are to help people without charging them. God bless you."
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was nice. Angelic.
Yes.
Angelic Brad.
Angelic
Saint
Brad.
Brad. Come on.
I just like King. I don't want to say.
You don't want to oversell yourself.
I don't want to oversell myself and say I'm a god or anything.
Right.
Okay, just King is more than.
Right.
King is all right,
King
guys.
A mortal can be a saint.
That is
you
true.
We could be Saint Bradford.
That is true.
Saint Bradford.
Ken Kivett on YouTube said, "Brad squad up." Just want to say thank you so much for Brad's generosity and time in helping the whole world. Brad, much love and God bless you for reaching so far and helping so many people.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Love that. Love that.
Thank you. Very
All right,
nice.
our third
one
is on Facebook from Jordan White. Big smiley face, big smiley face, big smiley face. I love you guys. So funny.
Yeah, we are. And informative and funny. The only comedy immigration show around, right?
Yeah. That's actually really funny because my next comment of the day is Glamma's follow-up who says, "Is this an immigration show? You guys are crazy."
Exactly.
Good point, Glamma.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
And then finally, Brad, I think we had a bit of a love connection in our YouTube comments.
With who?
We did.
With who?
We had Munir Tazi and Janice Proof sending each other little hearts. He's calling her my Janice. He says, "I love you from here." I have a feeling like we're either already in a relationship.
Either they're husband, wife, or they just had a love connection on Bradshaw Live.
Either way, we're into it.
We're into it.
Can you legally marry anybody?
No, I can't.
Okay, but I mean, it's not too hard to
Do I look
go
like a
online.
rabbi to you?
Look, you could go online and
I can become like
official.
an official. Maybe I will.
Right.
We'll do marriages right here.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, you go get the Trump haircut in Vietnam, and I'll say that to people.
And get ordained.
That's right. All right, with that, everybody, we're going to be taking the day off tomorrow. We'll see you all Monday. Have a great 3-day weekend. Take care, be safe, and we can't wait to see you 5:30 Monday afternoon, New York time. Take care. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465.